Recently, while exploring outside of World War II zombies, I found a little developer Easter egg in an outhouse. This Gilroy was here decal. And having explored outside a lot of maps throughout Call of Duty, I found many little Easter eggs like this, and it got me thinking, why not make a video with all of them? And today, that is exactly what we're going to do. Hello everyone, and welcome to Outside Oddities. For our first Easter egg here, we're starting off with something somewhat simple, and that is these filing cabinets that can be found outside of the map of 5. As you can see, they're labeled top secret, medium secret, and low secret accordingly, which is pretty funny. And although it is sort of a small Easter egg, and obviously it can be seen very easily from multiple window locations in the map, I still think it is a pretty nice touch to something very small that most probably don't even know is here. And there's also this one cabinet that is just glowing for some reason, which is kind of strange. But besides our top, medium, and low secrets, there are these files here as well that say Damien got row on the label, which is kind of strange, and to this day, I still don't know what this means. I've always sort of thought that it was a developer Easter egg, and this asset can be found in other places in the game, and actually even carries on to Black Ops 2. Maybe one day we'll learn the truth, but for now, headed on to our next Easter egg, because here in the Black Ops 1 campaign, there is a really cool Easter egg on the mission numbers. This one is very well known, but I had to include it in here after this little interrogation scene. If you throw all of your grenades down this hallway as fast as you can, turn around and then go over to this tape recorder, it should be open and you'll be able to interact with it and pick up a tape. And then after going through the level just a little bit more, having a plane pass over you, and then jumping on over to another building.
Here! Help me move!
Clark and Weaver will open up an armory. And inside that armory is yet another tape recorder. And if you place the tape you obtained earlier in there, the screen will shake, and a Thundergun will appear out of the wall. And of course, now you'll be able to use this Thundergun throughout the mission, which is insanely fun in its own right. But there's a little bit more to this Easter egg as well, because if we go outside the map and no clip through the ceiling, we'll see a lineup of weapons just sitting here outside the map. Everything from submachine guns, shotguns, and of course, even the Thundergun. I'm not exactly sure why these weapons are here. I suppose they're just doubles of the things that are used down there in the armory, and a lot of them look like guns that are used actually by the Spetsnaz throughout this mission. But either way, it is really cool to see these chilling out here, and of course this Easter egg in the campaign with the Thundergun is absolutely awesome. And it is inspired by an Easter egg all the way back in World at War. On the mission Little Resistance, after calling in a rocket strike on the tree line and moving up, there are 3 puddles on the beach up ahead. And if you sit in each one of them from right to left for about 6 or 7 seconds, after doing so for the last one, the screen will begin to shake, just like it did for the Black Ops 1 Thundergun Easter egg. And out of the ground, 4 statues will appear, each one with a ray gun in their mouths. And just like with the Thundergun Easter egg, you can pick it up, and now you're able to use it for the rest of the mission. And with a little bit of no clip, we can go underneath the map early and see that these statues are here ahead of time. All 4 of them, each with a ray gun inside of their mouths, and when you go up to them, you get this little interact symbol. Next to them as well is the ray gun itself, and you can swap for it, although it has the symbol of just a 1911, which is kind of strange. And it seems that if you do try and pick this up, you don't actually get a ray gun. So you have to do this little Easter egg in order for it to work. I guess it was a 1911 after all. It's the stepping in the puddles that turns it into a ray gun for you to pick up, which is kind of crazy. But either way, this is another really cool Easter egg hidden by the developers. And since we're here in World at War, let's go on underneath Verrucht for our next Easter egg. Because here underneath the fountain in the courtyard is an MG42 on a pillar. And if you somehow glitch out of the map, which I think there were multiple ways to do so back in World at War, you can actually hop on the fountain and use this. Although, it's really not super effective. It's actually kind of jank. You have a very limited range of motion. But nevertheless, it works, and it is insanely cool to see it here. But this isn't really an Easter egg. It's kind of just left behind from development, probably something they were going to use at one point and then scrapped. But over on Black Ops 3's Revelations, the final map pack for the game, we can see an homage to this MG42 as a little Easter egg just sitting there outside of the map in the Verruck section. I really like this one, and I've always wanted a version of Verrucked where this MG42 was usable. Or perhaps as a trap, I'm not exactly sure what the implementation was going to be, but either way, it was really cool to see the developers put this in here as a little hint to what was back in World at War. But while we're here in Black Ops 3 for our next Easter egg, just outside the map here on Gorod Krovi, we can find a sign here that says Richard Rodriguez. And it turns out that this is the name of a fan. He was the winner of the Black Ops 3 Be a Zombie contest that was held by Activision and Treyarch in collaboration with Omaze.
What do you mean the shipment won't be here by Friday? I will rend the flesh from your bones!
Hey, Eddie, we talked about this. You have to kill them with kindness.
I guess Monday will be fine.
And it's sort of one of those things that is just lost in time, I think, because I completely forgot about this. But I had to include it in a video like this. It's a really cool thing that the developers did. But heading on over to a completely different game now for our next Easter egg. Here on the mission No Russian in Modern Warfare 2, all the way back in 2009. If we no-clip under the ground here in Spawn, we'll find a hidden room. And on the floor is a Space Invaders logo. And although this little Easter egg room would probably never be found without mods, on PC it is entirely possible to take your vanilla version of Modern Warfare 2 and add no-clip to it. In fact, there actually is a secret code that you have to put into the files in order to make this work. All you have to do is open up your config file for the game, and under the last bind command, you have to type SATA, there is a Cal 1337, which is a pretty weird command to have, but with that typed in and another one that says monkey toy, and you need to set that one to 0, again, pretty strange. But when you do this, you can add binds to the end of the config file, which will allow you to find this little hidden room. It is a super cool Easter egg left behind by the developers, and I suppose a nod to those old Atari games. But now heading on out of 2009 all the way to Black Ops 6 for our next Easter egg. Here on the map Warhead, which is one of the smaller maps in the game, well, of course, it's based off of NukeTown. It takes place in the desert on the side of a massive crater, and if we look far outside of the map, there's multiple other NukeTowns around us. These low-poly NukeTowns are super cool to see, however, there's one of them that's a little bit more special than the rest of them. This one has a whole bunch of cameras as well as some bleachers, and it looks like the mannequins are shooting a bit of a film. And the reason all of this is here, well, it's because this is the actual NukeTown map that's used for multiplayer. And of course, what we're looking at here outside the map is a result of the mannequin Easter egg. Something that's been in Call of Duty since the very first version of NukeTown. After shooting off all the mannequin heads, this spawns in outside of the map, and here outside of the map of Warhead, we can see it. And funny enough, I found this before the Treyarch devs put it into the game. So I had absolutely no idea why this was here. I thought it was just a little extra Easter egg outside of Warhead, not knowing its true nature being the mannequin Easter egg for NukeTown. But this is actually not the thing that I wanted to show. Although it's cool and I wanted to include it, there's a couple more here on the map Warhead that I think are absolutely awesome. One of them is down here inside the crater. At the very bottom, we see a little skeleton with a fishing rod, I guess trying to catch some irradiated fish. Doesn't seem like it's going too well for him. I think this is a super cool little Easter egg because I don't think most people know that this is here, but it's not the only one here on Warhead. Man, the devs cooked with this one. Because up above the map here inside of the truck, well, there is a squirrel eating a chicken wing with what looks like a little Buc-ee's hat on and a soda next to him that has artwork from one of the fast food restaurants in game. And this right here is by far my favorite Easter egg in Black Ops 6, so props to the developer who put this in. It is absolutely hilarious. But finally, it's time to go on over to Black Ops 2 for our final Easter eggs. Here on the mission Pyrrhic Victory, there is an insanely cool Easter egg that can be found outside of the map. And I gotta give credit where credit is due, this was not found by me, it was found by Rat Pack, the maker of this mod. far outside of the map here, if we go all the way in this direction, we see this really strange looking rock. And on that rock is something that is absolutely amazing. As far as I can tell, this is a hint at the Lion King. And although this low poly model really has no detail to it, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Simba. And this is that rock from the movie. This Easter egg blew my mind when I found out about it, and props to Rat Pack for finding it. He is also the maker of this mod that's allowing us to find it as well, so thank you to him for that too. Dude is absolutely awesome. Check out his GitHub in the description if you want to check this out yourself. I promise you it's real. It's actually here. Believe me, I never thought there'd be a Lion King Easter egg in Black Ops 2. But as it turns out, that is not the only movie-related Easter egg in this campaign. So it's time to head on over to the mission Karma for our final Easter egg. If we fly ourselves all the way down to the construction that's going on a few floors beneath us, we can find something insanely cool in one of these rooms. Just behind this door right here is a little R2-D2 hiding away in the closet. Another hint at a very famous movie sitting here in the Black Ops 2 campaign. Something I never would have thought was here if I didn't no-clip out and find it myself. And obviously, this is a reference to Star Wars, although I'm not sure if it's a reference to a specific scene. Like if R2-D2 hid in a closet somewhere, I don't exactly remember. It's very obvious that they didn't want to model him too close to the actual R2-D2, and makes sense. It would be a shame to get a lawsuit over an Easter egg that's just hidden outside the map. I think it is absolutely awesome, and this is by far my favorite Easter egg in all of Call of Duty, at least that I've found so far. Let me know down in the comment section which one was your favorite, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And while you're at it, you might as well leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It helps me out a ton, and of course, make sure you're subscribed so you can come back for more. And if you want to watch more of my content, you can click one of the videos on your screen right now. But if not, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay awesome, and peace out.